More than 1,200 people detained in anti-war protests in 44 cities across Russia. In Washington, D.C., protesters also gathering to shout down Russia's aggression, the invasion forcing the Ukrainian people to either stay and fight or get out now. D.C. correspondent Candice joining us now from outside the White House with more details about what's unfolding and what the president and the United States can do about it. Candice?
Good evening, Kelly. Well, as we heard the president say, more severe sanctions have now been levied against Russia in what's now being called a full-scale war, with a confirmed 57 Ukrainian soldiers dead. We've also learned from the Pentagon that Russia has fired over 160 missiles into Ukraine since they began their attack overnight. Now, as for that new round of sanctions, which will continue to escalate as this conflict escalates, President Biden would not speak to why he's not sanctioning Putin himself at this point, though he says that remains on the table. He says while the sanctions are used as a deterrent, no one expected them to actually prevent what we're seeing unfold here now. He also confirmed that he believes Putin's ambitions extend beyond Ukraine. Now, President Biden says he will convene a meeting with NATO to pose a united front against Putin. He also reiterated that U.S. boots will not be on the ground in Ukraine, but he will send troops to defend our NATO allies along the eastern flank and to Germany. But the world is really watching in horror right now as this conflict plays out, and many Ukrainians in disbelief that it's actually come to this. Take a listen.
It's hard to believe that it's actually our neighbor doing this, because we never really believed that our neighbor can just come and just grab our land and tell us what to do. And we are an independent country, Ukraine, and we are totally not same as Russians. And we don't want to be a part of Russia or any other country. It's really getting very emotional. And I cannot believe it's happening, really.
Now, President Biden reaffirmed the U.S.'s support for Ukraine by continuing to supply humanitarian aid as the Ukrainians defend themselves against this attack. The UN also bolstering those efforts, sending $20 million to Ukraine to help aid in urgent humanitarian needs. Kelly?